What's up everybody, it's Matt from TDM Style here. Welcome back to the channel once again, and this weekend we're taking a look at the brand new collab drop from Steven the Salon Guy and Flagship Pomade. For their crafted lineup, we have the brand new Sea Salt Styling Paste. So this product is actually something that I was able to do some testing with a few months ago. Steven sent me a jar of it when he felt like the formula was like nearing completion, just to get my thoughts on it, how it performed. Yeah, and honestly, I was planning on doing a different video this weekend, but then just like a couple of days ago, it was like basically a shadow drop. Like Steven just went up, he's like, bitch, it's available, let's go. And so he sent me the new jar with the completed packaging and everything. So yeah, I thought this was just a perfect opportunity to put this video out. And I know all the previous crafted products are pretty well received, so I thought y'all might be interested in what's going on under the hood on this bad boy. So let's crack into this bitch and get started. How close was that one to my face? It felt a little bit close. So yeah, as I mentioned before, this is part of the crafted lineup. These are products that are, kind of designed by Steven the Salon Guy and then formulated by Wade over at Flagship Pomade. And as far as the specs on this one, this is coming in as a firm hold matte finish sea salt styling paste. If you read the description on the website, basically Steven says it's kind of like his tidal wave sea salt spray, but in a paste form. It can be used as both a pre and or post styler, and essentially this is meant to provide you with a firm but very pliable hold and the perfect amount of that kind of sea salt beachy texture in there. And it is also formulated to be very user friendly as well, so easy scoop, easy breakdown, easy application. So does it do all that? We about to find out. Taking a look first at the packaging and pricing as usual, this, much like the other crafted stylers, comes in this 4-ounce or 113-gram plastic jar. This one has the kind of black and silver labeling, so each of their stylers has a different kind of color scheme with the rings and stuff on the labeling. So I quite like the black and silver look. It's just very, I don't know, sleek looking, I guess. And as far as the price, this comes in at $23.99 US, same price as their other stylers once again. So, it's a big ass jar. So, truth be told, that's a lot of product for the amount that you're paying. And it does actually mention on the website to use a very small amount. So, and we'll talk about that more in a minute when we get into the demo footage, of course. But yeah, so there's that. And now for everybody's favorite category. I almost just threw that straight into the microphone. That would have been horrendous to deal with the audio editing of that. Now we got to talk about that scent. Now this one doesn't have specific scent notes on the website as of this moment, but it is meant to just be like a very clean, kind of lightweight fragrance. Oh, I can already smell it. Me up. It is really clean. It's not super punchy or super strong. I feel like Steven's other stylers have stronger scents to them. This one definitely is light. I wouldn't quite call it cologne-y. I guess I'm still learning how to describe fragrances, properly. But yeah, it's just very fresh, maybe slightly like that kind of aquatic cologne, if that makes any sense to you. I don't know, but it makes sense for a sea salt paste because it smells kind of beachy, summery, fresh, clean. I don't know what this move has to do with it, but but yeah, it smells great, and it is very lightweight, as I mentioned. So I've got it in my hair right now, can't smell it anymore, so it's not gonna clash if you wanted to wear another fragrance or something. All right, now we can take a quick look at the ingredients. So as you might expect, this is a water-based product. And then we have right away our best boy, Mr. Kaolin Clay in there, as well as, let's see, safflower oil, hydrogenated castor oil, PEG 40 hydrogenated castor oil, rice bran wax, bentonite clay as well, microcrystalline wax, of course the sea salt in there, and then some, preservatives, fragrance, all that stuff. So, in case you're wondering, sea salt is farther down the list, and that is obviously on purpose because, you wouldn't want this to be like a jar of kosher salt and have it at the top of the list. Steven mentioned to me that he wanted it to be just the right amount so that, because especially with, if people like me with coarse, wavy hair, certain sea salt sprays that just have too high a salt content are just not good for me. Like, it ends up just being too dry and gritty, and it's too salty. So he didn't want that to be the case here. As I mentioned also, he wanted this to be very user-friendly, creamy scoop and creamy application. So obviously, if the salt was too high, you ain't gonna get creamy. That was a weird way to word that phrase. But anyway, yeah, so that's about it for the specs on it. So let's jump right into the demo footage. Now, I said that this can be used as both a pre and or post styler, and I've tried it both ways. I've tried it just my normal dry hair styling moment. Works great there, but this is one for me that I actually do love using it as a pre-styler. Now, if y'all know me, I'm not big on using pasty products as my pre-stylers, generally speaking. I like my smoothing products, something, lightweight just to help me get the hair straightened out and smooth and whatever, so that my post-styler is easier to apply. Every once in a great while, I might put something with hold in as a pre-styler if I really want like some Johnny Bravo moment going on. But in my testing, I feel like this really shines when you use it as a pre-styler, or actually both. So anyway, enough talking about it. Demo footage. So we're starting out here with freshly washed hair that is quite obviously still damp. Now I do still go in with a smoothing product all the time. So either 25 spray, or like in this instance, I'm going in with a little bit of the Xmondo Viper smoothing oil. I have coarse hair, so I always use a smoothing pre-styler, and then I can layer other things on top of it. Now it is recommended that you use a small amount of this sea salt paste, and I totally agree with that, yes. So we're using, basically like a half a finger's tip amount here, whatever that equates to. But it is a very creamy, soft, easy scoop, and you only need to emulsify it in your fingers for like a few seconds. It breaks down very smoothly and easily, and you don't want to over emulsify it and dry it out either, so you want to just work it in for a couple seconds and then bang, get that bitch working right into the hair. And then I always just take a quick run through with a comb, make sure everything is evenly distributed, and then all that's left to do is blow dry a bitch. Yeah! Yeah, so as you can see here, we've got that great sea salt texture. My hair is still soft, and it's definitely got some movement to it, so the hold isn't quite firm at this point, but I actually really like leaving it at this stage where it's not quite a firm yet because I used so little of it, but it just feels very natural, and it just has a nice bit of movement to it, but it has enough hold that it'll stay in place. But for the sake of science, we are going in with another very small scoop as our post styler here, and basically just working to get that into the roots just to solidify the hold a bit more. And here we are with a look at the final style. So yeah, as you can see, our texture is looking great. It is a matte finish, certainly, but it's not overly dry. It is like the perfect amount of salt in there where you get the texture, but without the overly gritty, tangly bullshit. Now, one really interesting thing that I wanted to mention also, when you're pre-styling with this, so you get into the damp hair, and as you're blow drying, when you've got the heat going on and you're styling and whatever, it feels very smooth. It's easy to brush through. You can feel a little bit of that saltiness, which is good. It gives you just enough of that kind of texture to help adhere it to the brush as you're going. So it's easy to really get some tension on there to smooth it out and boost the volume. But right when you finish, when you get the heat off and your hair is still warm, it's not gonna feel like there's much hold in there, and you can still move it around. But then change that shit to the cold air just to seal it in, and as you're working your fingers through with the cold air, you can feel it solidifying and the hold setting up. I don't mean solidifying like rigid helmet hair, but I mean you'll know what I mean when you try it, but you can just feel the hold setting up, and you can feel the texture kind of even getting better, and it just the hair kind of swelling a little bit with the volume. It's really it's a pretty unique experience, to be honest. But then yeah, even going in with the second scoop as a post styler, it is still very easy to apply. You certainly can feel the grippiness at that point, because it's meant to be a firm hold, and it is. But once again, once you get that in the hair, and after just a minute or two when it really settles in, the hair still feels very smooth. It's pliable as hell. You can still get your fingers through it, or a comb, or whatever. So it's certainly not drying at all. And yeah, you really need very little product to achieve what you want, really. And in terms of that firm hold and endurance, let's take a look here. This is many hours later. As you can probably see, I look tired as fuck. I think it was 12 hours later at this point. And yeah, as you can see, my hair really didn't go anywhere. Maybe a very slight deflation in the volume department, but nothing that a quick ruffle of the fingers wouldn't fix. And yeah, it's meant to be very pliable, and it is. I mean, you can move it around, you can restyle it at any time. It doesn't get greasy or anything. My hair still just feels very lightweight, as you would expect from a paste. So yeah, does it live up to the firm hold? Yes. And it's interesting too, because it doesn't feel like a firm hold. Like, even when it's fully settled in and you're good to go for the day, it feels so light, and it feels like it's got some movement, but and you can like run your fingers through it and stuff. So it doesn't feel like a firm hold in the traditional sense that you might be expecting, but that shit will stay on lock all day without the need to touch it. It's really... I think they've really got something unique here. And as far as the washout, yeah, it's water-based, and yeah, literally hit it with warm water and still can't whistle, but it washes out. So yeah, overall thoughts on the new crafted sea salt paste from the Salon Guy and Flagship. It's amazing stuff. I feel like crafted with every product release has hit a fucking home run, and this is just another one. You know, they've really done some cool, unique things. Like, their blow dry cream is amazing. You know, they've got just like that nice kind of traditional medium clay. They've got their extreme hold matte paste, and now this sea salt paste, and it is very different from the extreme hold matte paste, if you're wondering. This, yeah, it's just, I love how unique it is. Like, you get the sea salt texture and the lightness of a matte paste, but without any dryness. And it has, like I mentioned, it has that firm hold, but it's really pliable, and it still feels light, and it doesn't feel firm, but it stays there. The smell is great, and it's not overpowering. Like, there's nothing not to like here. So yeah, if you were wondering if you wanted to try this out, try it, man, because it's pretty titular. Also, I know that's not the word, but you know, whatever. It's the tits. So that wraps things up for today's video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this and found it helpful. Please just stay tuned. We've got plenty more products to get to. We've got Cub & Co lineup. We've got Mason's lineup. I've got some other like hair bond stuff to get to. I've got geez, I don't know. I just have like an entire shelf of products upstairs. So if you haven't already, feel free to hit that sub button down below to keep up to date with all that upcoming stuff. And as always, thank you guys so much for coming by and watching. And we'll see you in the next one.